Good morning, guys, from Fez. Indeed, I am getting the out of Fez. Finally, the time has come. As you can see, it's 10 to 7 in the morning, and I've walked for more than 1 hour from my riad, having been up at 5:30 in the morning, woken for prayer at 4:30, and kept awake rather late last night to make it down in time for this train. My first experience on an African train. We're about to find out what awaits us on this ONCF service. Apparently an Al Atlas train. There is, joking aside, a bullet train, and I don't know whether I might be on it. I think Al Atlas is slightly different, but we just check which platform we're on and that the service is running. There we are at the top. Oui or va, I don't know. Je ne pas, I do not know. Ne parle. I think that's maybe platform 4, train 180. 180! Okay, so, wow, I am rather sprightly this morning. I think, as I say, it's a sense of relief getting out of here. This is absolutely the worst place I've ever visited. And as old Mama Sharif doesn't know which way to go, let's get our ticket here. There we go. For the nice conductor. Hello, sir.
You speak English?
I do. Je suis anglais.
Okay, good morning, sir.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah. You have the train in the platform number 4.
Perfect.
Take it downstairs. The first class it will be in the front of the train.
Shukran.
You're welcome.
Thank
Have
you,
a lovely
Mohammed.
trip. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right, so awesome. What a friendly greeting, and he smelled great as well. Okay, well, weird thing to say about another man. He did though. He smelled. Was I really listening to that? Okay, I think I go down here. I was all caught up, gazing into his deep Moroccan eyes, smelling his wonderful cologne, his perfume. Here we go. Number 4, going this way. Next, to platform number 5. Okay, wow, what a morning this is gonna be. I had no idea that I was this energized until the camera went on. Okay, there we go. Oh. Okay, okay, 4 and 5, that's good. So this is gonna be our chariot. It looks kind of old from the outside. I've got to say, it's a little bit grimy and a little bit old on here. I'm really excited to check this place out, mainly to get away from Fez and Marrakesh, but also James Bond film Spectre had a scene filmed there. Being a big Bond fan, obviously a body. That's where I'm going.
He is absolutely joking.
He is absolutely joking. I am joking that my favourite film. Right, okay, so which number are we on here? 15 to 91 in first. I will just check and then we will make our way onto platform 1111. Alun. Okay, so we're on this side. Let's take a step up here and I will save the toilet review for later. There goes the chime. And yeah, I will take a seat. Oh, we are in compartments. Amazing. Okay, well this might make it a little bit more difficult to film unless I have one pretty much to myself, because it looks to be typically 6 seats. I wonder whether we might be able to maybe go into somebody else's, is it a cartouche or somebody else's compartment? So I'm sure that they will not want me rabbiting on. Anyway, let's see which one we're in. Number 11. Let's see. Are we in here? Okay, we're in here. Alright, so we have indeed landed ourselves with some fellow passengers. So I'm going to take a seat in one of the empty compartments so I can show you around before then maybe settling in the other, because you know what it's like with women in this part of the world, understandably for religious reasons, cultural reasons. Yeah, they don't want to be on camera. Anyway, let's see you at the next compartment. The train looks to be pretty quiet. It's not too long now before we set off, only a few minutes out. There's a clock down there. We'll be on our way in like 5 minutes and I will give you the full tour of this African train. And I'm not showing you the toilet just there. Oh my god. I'll save that for later. I'll run out. Alright guys, let me give you a very quick, a whistle-stop tour of this cabin just whilst it's empty. First impressions, okay, the seats are absolutely massive. It's like being in an armchair, so comfortable, genuinely. I think the most comfortable seats that I've been in, even beyond that panoramic train that I went on in Indonesia, between up to Old Bandung anyway. So basically there are 6 seats in these compartments. You have the sliding door for privacy, and I believe we have AC here, so that makes things an awful lot more comfortable. You've also got the window blind as well, which when the sun is coming through on this side, in these countries where it's super hot, you actually need that, unlike in the UK where if you just put it down you're being bloody antisocial. Anyways, I'm not sure what this is. Is it a speaker or is it an emergency exit button? I'm not going to press it. So, sliding door, so up there is a button. Okay, spotlights, and coat hooks as well. Very, very important for that sartorial African traveller. Nice big windows as well, with a handrail, so when you're shuffling past your fellow passengers, which is quite common from what I understand if the train's busy, then yeah, you have it here. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Jaws or some James Bond villain is going to be in one of these. And yeah, so any other information we need to know on here before we start? Okay, no smoking, we've seen the air conditioning, and I guess that's the sound that we'll be sending off in a minute. So I'm going to take a seat, settle in, and hopefully, okay, doesn't say no filming. We'll be on our way, and it's going to take about 4 hours. And here we go, we're off. Goodbye, Fez. Good morning.
Good morning.
There is my QR.
Welcome.
Shukran. Alright guys, so you've seen how easy it was heading through the train station to go through the gate and find the platform. It's of course a quieter time of day, but they just come around and scan the QR code. This is all on email, so there's no need to print off the paper or anything like that, as there was in Sri Lanka. But Sri Lankan trains were really well run also. So yeah, pretty chilled. In terms of what this has cost me, we're arriving at 11:18, so for a 4-hour and 18-minute journey to be exact, it's cost 164 dirhams. So if you divide by 10, it's basically the dollar rate. So yeah, you're looking at about $16-17. Alright guys, so with the scenery rolling by, we're probably about 1 hour into the journey. I've settled in, chilled out, it's feeling good. There's not as many people here as I perhaps might otherwise have expected. I thought it'd be fully booked, but that doesn't mean that we can't have fun. After all, the moment you've all been waiting for. We've seen the state of conditions on Thai trains. We've seen them in Indonesia, we've seen them in Sri Lanka. We never made it onto an Indian train. It is what it is. But the question that you're all asking yourselves, I'm sure, is what is the toilet like on an African train? Well, we're about to find out. Take a look in here at what awaits us. Is it going to be grim? Whoa! Okay. Oh, I might. Is there paper? Okay, there is no paper. And it is hanging loose. Okay. I must say, this is not the best example of a train toilet that I've seen on my travels. Oh, there is water. Okay, that is a relief. I don't imagine there'll be soap. Is there any saffron? I don't see any. Okay, so here you can see the seats are pretty decent actually. For standard class, I think it's pretty spacious. It's a lot better than some of the trains that I've seen back in Europe, that's for sure. Anyways, it's quite a busy carriage, and as I mentioned, with obviously women around, you don't want to capture them on camera for cultural reasons, so that adds to the challenge of filming here. Anyway, we appear to have found ourselves a standard class toilet. Let's see if this is it even worse. What? This looks to be a bit better. It looks way cleaner. It looks like it's been unused. Is there soap? Okay. No soap and still no towels, but it looks cleaner here than it did in first. Look. Oh, toilet paper. Very nice and soft as well, quilted. Alright, they know how to live. Anyways, as we roll by the hills, I'm going to go back and take a seat. There's probably not a great deal of anything else to see here in the absence of a buffet car. Okay, shukran. Thank you, my friend. Alright, awesome. We have ourselves a nice coffee. Cheers. An inspector called at the door, but he wasn't looking for my ticket. He came basically to give me a load of aggro. All right, we have made it to Tanger, and just look over the other side. That, I believe, is the high-speed train, the Al Borak. So we've arrived pretty much on time, about 10 minutes over, not too bad given a 4.5-hour journey. But there we go, the old Al Atlas train. Wave goodbye to all of the headscarf women who are ducking and trying to avoid cameras. And yeah, in the end, I had a couple of people join me in my compartment, so I'm glad that we had opportunity to do some filming before we had guests. Anyways, first impressions of the place. Well, it's very modern. We've seen a slightly industrial side to things as I was pulling in, but there is indeed the coastline. So I think the plan, once I've got through the station here, is to go and find the hotel where I'll be staying, drop the bags in, have a shower. After all, I was up at like 5:30, pretty tired, freshen up, and then we will go and explore the town of Tanger. Alright, so I've checked in just around the corner. It's quite a busy place, but I'm absolutely starving, having not eaten since like 5 or since last night, having been up at 5:30. Check this out. Absolutely perfect. Finally found stuff with flavour, I can see it. My good friend here is prepared. I've gone for the ground beef, which is obviously done like a patty. But look at this, I've got the different vegetables like olives here, the peas. I haven't tried this yet, but it looks good. And it's served with a fried egg. But I can see like lots of cumin or something on there. Finally some flavour. And also the spices, this is way more like it. And I've got myself some French fries as well, for the culture, hey. Anyway, let's give this a little go. Just there's so many of the places that I've seen up and down the street and throughout fairs, Marrakesh so far, they've been so touristy. It's nice to be able to come somewhere relatively local. You can see them like cooking liver there and stuff. This isn't for the tourists. Just over my shoulder you've got all of the busy bars and things, but here we go. Oh man, that was good. Really good. I can taste the flavours of like the spices in there. Sprinkle a load of cumin on the egg. Let's have some with that. Really good. Shukran. Check it out, walking through the arch, the symbol of peace in Islam. It's so nice to be around such good Muslims that once again a moment ago were adamant on insisting to offer me hash. Yes, that's right. And when I challenged it, I said politely, no brother, no thank you, no I'm not interested in drugs, no it's okay. Stood there with the camera in my hand. The old man was like, there's not drugs, there's plants. Alright, okay. Alright, so for those of you who are curious, here's a little trivia and collector's item. Not the Calypso travel agency, but indeed this street down here is where there's a scene inspector of Daniel Craig as James Bond walking up the street with Dr. Swan, who is just found in the Austrian Alps. And this is the route where this young man is just coming up now that old DC took. How cool is this? Anyway, I'm walking down it rather than up it, and it appears to be, unfortunately, now something more of a fake market. Yet another one of those. Anyways, we're not too far from the beach. We're going to continue on down, and I'll link back up with you on la plage. Feeling like James Bond. I didn't expect to see such a nice beach necessarily in Morocco. I've just gotten used to sort of the Medinas and the squares and the back streets that we saw so much of in, of course, fairs and Marrakesh. But here the boys are with the horses. Hello, brother. You good? Thank you. I'm good. So, let's take a little wander in the direction, well, of Europe. Not just the sea, as that hill line behind it is the south of Spain. I think, as you know, this certainly hasn't been my favourite country by a long stretch. In fact, I would say, whilst I still want to reflect on this for a little bit longer, it perhaps is the worst place that I have visited. Never have I ever been greeted with such hostility as I have in this country, and particularly in the back streets there, as you've seen earlier. All the guys walking past have scars on their faces and are all wearing their tuned Nike Airs or whatever. Let's just say they are conforming to a certain stereotype, in contrast to what I've experienced in Islamic neighbourhoods and Islamic countries around the world so far, which have been unanimously positive, hospitable, welcoming and all the rest. The Moroccans have to be the worst examples of the faith that I've encountered anywhere. Just as you've seen on the streets with them offering drugs, them being very hostile towards outsiders, basically having a pretty large degree of resentment, it seems, for the people that come from over there like me. Not Spain, but you know what I mean, Europe. Erling Haaland is here. What an honest Mancunian. Anyways, we're going to wrap things up, as I have a very, very early start tomorrow. I've got to be up at about 4 AM to make my flight over to the next country, which I will let the cat out of the bag, is Istanbul. I'm going back to Turkey, where it all began. My very first video was made in Istanbul, outside the Blue Mosque, and for one of the scenes I'm actually going to retrace my steps and hopefully show you just how far I've progressed as a vlogger. Controversial topic, we'll see. Anyways, with the feeling of sand in between my toes and the sounds of scamming ringing in my ears, I can say with great pleasure, goodbye from Morocco, and I'll see you all, that's right, in the next video. Over to Spain. Just kidding, Istanbul.